I just want to take a few minutes to let folks understand the history of the work group, especially because you're probably already doing some Safe-to-Swim stuff with a different working group. So Chris mentioned, things kicked off in 2007. 2008, we released this document, maximizing the efficiency and effectiveness of water quality data collection and dissemination, and ensuring that collected data are maintained and available for use by decision makers and the public. Within this document, they really talked about issue-specific work groups. And Chris mentioned, our work group, Safe-to-Swim, but also the Wetlands Working Group. We're one of those working groups that was dreamed about back in 2008. Also, they were looking at how we disseminate this information on the internet, and it's through these web-based portals, feed-based portals. How many of you in the room have visited the Safe-to-Swim portal? Less than half. See, we have some work to do. We need to make it usable for the public and usable for you all. So, under the oversight of the Monitoring Council, they put together this work group in 2010. How many of you have been working on Safe-to-Swim issues prior to 2010? Yeah, quite a few. Well, in 1998, we had the Safe-to-Swim working group down here in Southern California, the Collaborative Beach Water Quality Work Group. Meetings right here in this room. In 2004, that model was replicated in Northern California. So things were happening before the Monitoring Council developed and put together this working group. So they leveraged these working groups so that we could have a functional Safe-to-Swim work group statewide. But the focus had been coastal. We tried to see what we could do to bring in inland waters, and thankfully in 2015 we had enough people step forward to have a new working group. Membership of that was pretty much just within state board, within our SWAP program. Alicia Wenzel is representing that group, and she is in the room with us today. So if you have questions, Alicia's here. She's going to be giving us a presentation a little bit later this morning. So, just to highlight what came out of that 2013 report that Chris mentioned, the purpose of the group is to coordinate monitoring and assessment, not to coordinate, hey, this is the project we're going to do, but try to bring all these different groups together so that we could collaborate and also inform the public collectively so that we have one place where the public can go and really get awesome information. It's okay to have your information locally, but what can we do statewide to really bring a focus to this work that we're doing? Two primary questions that the working group is trying to address is what do agency decision makers and the public really want to know about swimming safety on a local, regional, statewide basis, and then how can we best inform this decision making? So those are the things that the working group had been discussing. Those are things that we need to discuss. In addition to those primary questions that the working group developed, we had a couple questions that were given to us by the data management work group. Those were, what are the problems in data management? What data sets should be a priority for access? What are the data gaps and what data restrictions currently exist? These have been the issues that have been bogging down the work group historically. We identified some of those issues and been working on those, and we're still trying to iron out some of those data management issues so that we can get data into our statewide database using BeachWatch, using CDN, and informing the public and decision makers through the web portal for water quality. In addition, we came up as a work group with 13 items that were of interest to the work group members. They were separated into three themes. What are the current threats to my beach water quality? Is it safe to swim at freshwater beaches? And what water quality data is available? Some of the things that were proposed in another document, 2013, we've actually seen some traction on. Integrate Safe-to-Swim website with existing smartphone applications and websites. So we've had NGOs participate in this with the beach report card and swim guide. We conducted an informal survey of monitoring entities, reaching out to people that are monitoring or are using the monitoring data to inform Safe-to-Swim decisions. It was a struggle to get returns. People really didn't care too much in their throughout the state's counties about Safe-to-Swim issues. That's beginning to change in a significant way. Issues like down in San Diego, where hepatitis outbreaks have been happening, homeless population explosion in the Bay Area, water quality issues in the Sacramento area. Third one down, developing a priority list for addressing with data management restrictions. That was worked on. Now we're trying to work on resolving those issues. Fourth one down, expand coverage of Safe-to-Swim by adding inland waters to the Safe-to-Swim portal website. We are trying to work on that with a current program and then bringing in more players with the inland water Safe-to-Swim. I work with citizen monitoring programs, and we are actually integrating into CEDN citizen monitoring data. We have lots of groups in inland waters where the only people that are doing the monitoring are citizen groups. Then lastly, identified developing recommendations for long-term agency involvement and financial support of Safe-to-Swim portal and the work group. And it's marked red because, yeah, we haven't gone anywhere on that one. Yeah. Funding has been a big issue. We can work together on how we can address our shortfalls and try to get more resources for the work that we're doing. This is the list. I don't think this is online anymore. We're going to try to revitalize our meeting information. But this is a list of 13 items that the work group in 2011 thought were important. I'm not going to read through those for the sake of time management, but most of these are still things that we think are probably important. I think we do need to develop a committee to take a look at this. Is it reflecting what's important today and what's important to the people that are attending our meeting today? So this is our portal screen at the My Water Quality. There at the top and the middle there, it's Safe-to-Swim. People click on that and you can get lots of information. That's the web page. So this is where we're trying to support this as a work group. And this is where we need to have people inform us, are we answering the right questions? Are we presenting the data in a usable way for the public and for decision makers? And then lastly, we have our work group website as well. This is not for the public, it's publicly accessible, but this is to help us so we can communicate and share tools and resources. We have many, many websites at State Board on beaches, Safe-to-Swim, beach initiative, lots of things. But we need one place where we can just go and have direction for those resources, and also so that we can talk amongst ourselves. When are our meetings? What are our resources? I missed the meeting. Can I get a recording? What are some of the newer tools that are being talked about? We can have the web links up here. Is EPA having their, the beach conference? We can put those links up here. We don't need to have, 15 websites, tagged on our laptop or computer at the office to get this information. We want to be able to have a working group webpage that's usable. So definitely need comments on that from you guys so that we can improve this. It's been lingering, and in the transition of Michael leaving, a lot of useful content isn't there anymore. So we need to make sure that we can put the right content on there. So we'll be talking to some of you about that.